The time is 9:43 p.m. Good evening. The news headline. Police kill Ipob sector commander, 2 others in Imo. The Imo State Police Command has shot dead the suspected indigenous people of Biafra, Ipob, Eastern Security Network ESN sector commander, Chidera Nnabuyi, during a gun duel in Amafiike Olu local government area. Nnabuyi, aka Dragon, the Olu sector commander, was killed with 2 other members of the group when the command's tactical team stormed their hideout in an uncompleted building in the valley at Essential Home, popularly known as Imbuka, in Amafiike Olu local government area of Imo State. The Imo State Police spokesman, CSP Michael Abatam, who confirmed the incident, disclosed the Ipob ESN members were planning to resume terror attacks on police formations and government installations in the state when intelligence radar picked the information. He said, on 11th night 2021 at about 12:30 hours, the command's tactical teams immediately mobilized and stormed the hideout of the terror group located in an uncompleted building in a valley at Essential Home, popularly known as Umbuka, in Amafieke Olu local government area of Imo State. The members of the terror group, on sighting the police operatives in the hideout, opened fire on them. The gallant and battle-ready tactical teams swiftly returned the fire. In the gun duel, 3 of the hoodlums, namely Chidera Nnabuyi, the Olu sector commander of Ipob ESN aka Dragon, a native of Umuala Amafieke in Olu local government area, and 2 others with aka JJ and Dadawa, both natives of Wazara in Ebonyi State, were neutralized. However, he said Emeka Sunday, 20 years of Anike in Wazara local government area of Ebonyi State, and Atoni Okeke, 44, of Umuala Amafieke Olu local government area of Imo, were arrested while others escaped with into the bush with bullet wounds. So many have questioned, how do these weapons get their hands? Number 3 says that the terrorists appear in military camouflage during operation, which makes it difficult to identify them. And according to reports, the terrorists always disguise in military camouflage, which makes them gain easy penetration, and that is so deceitful. And these are the facts, and the analysis is quite simple because the present security situation of the country is very annoying and worrisome, because the activities of these bandits and terrorists in the country have been a very big challenge to the Buhari-led administration. And even at his visit to Imo State of recent, he still mentioned that security aspect, saying that it is one of the foremost thing that is of concern to him, that that if there is no peace in a particular place, that no matter the initiative that the administration has, so far there is no peace there, it will be so difficult for them to achieve the heights of those initiatives, and that the security issue has been a very serious one for him for quite a while now. And there have been records of serious attacks by these terrorists, the Boko Haram and the insurgents from these ISWAP terrorists, Fulani herdsmen, unknown gunmen, kidnappers, and many more. And their dreadful attack have caused unrest across the nation, and so many have lost their lives, their jobs, and properties. Of recent, we heard of a case whereby a lecturer in Kogi and 3 other students were kidnapped. We heard of a case whereby some journalists were kidnapped. Some senators, in the north, and their children were also kidnapped as well. They broke into a school, kidnapped the provost, the director of the College of Education, even a one-time presidential aspirant, Showore. Omoyele Showore. Of recent, we heard of the case where his younger brother was shot dead by some unknown gunmen, and some others, kidnapped by this same unknown gunmen purported to be Fulani herdsmen, and bandits. And it is becoming so worrisome because a whole lot of people have suffered in the hands of these unknown gunmen and bandits. Even at the time now, President Muhammadu Buhari had called on his service chief to rise up to this challenge, to fight against this terrorism and banditry going on in the country, because it is really affecting the image of the country across, even internationally, because we had of a case that the UK actually warned their citizens, on how they walk around or travel around in Nigeria. They are citing that there are some places in the country that have a whole lot of security challenges. We know of a case where a governor of the state said that every resident of the state should actually fight for themselves, they should selfly defend themselves from any form of havoc. And we had a governor of Katsina State where he said that he knows that those people that are doing this are Fulani people just like him, and all these things are happening because of different issues that are bothering about the insecurity in the country. One can imagine how 38 persons will be buried in a day. In Sokoto, about 48 persons, 38 persons being buried a day, being killed a day, and it is becoming so worrisome. So here is the more the Nigerian security operatives launch attack on them, the more attacks that we receive as news. They surrender, and yet we see here a whole lot of kidnaps and abductions for a whole lot of ransom. And this insurgency even jeer the security formation by launching attack at their camps, and even put down a military jet and Nigerian weapons and more. And President Muhammadu Buhari and his men are really trying their best to restore peace in Nigeria, but there are some reasons that this writer says that have made these terrorist bandits formidable for the security agencies to catch up with. And perhaps if they look into these three things said by this writer, there might be a consequent change that would bring about peace in the country. Although while some people have advised that there should be a national dialogue, that there should be a dialogue between the bandits, just like Gumi advised, between them. But yet, this writer is of the opinion that number one, their sponsors are not yet revealed, and that so many people have wondered how these terrorists get funded, as much as stocking themselves with what they need, because there is no how they would actually be doing this, and they will not have strong sponsors. I remember a case whereby a commodore at the time said, or interviewed on Channels Television, said that the sponsors of these people are those in the cabinet of President Muhammadu Buhari, and that number two, they are well armed with sophisticated weapons, and this is a major reason that has raised uproar amongst Nigerians as per how and where these people are getting those sophisticated weapons from. The federal government needs to check into this aspect, and then look for a way to neutralize how they get their weapons. And the third one is that they disguise in the military uniform. And once these three things are looked into, it might help them in the fight against this banditry and terrorism. Good morning, thanks for listening. And simply the analysis is that despite how these bandits are getting a whole lot of weapons from the government, and they seem to be focusing more on the indigenous people of Biafra, who are just clamoring for self-determination. And now the fight between the Imo State Police Command and the indigenous people of Biafra, most especially the Eastern Security Network of the Ipob, they went into a gun duel, and the team leaders of the Ipob in the gun duel with the tactical teams of the police on 11/9/2021 at about 12:30 hours, they stormed into their hideout and they killed the popular leader, or popularly known as Ubuka, among several others. Time is 9:46 p.m. Thanks for listening. Good evening.